Almost 80% of the ocean hasn't been discovered. What are you most likely to find there? This is why I watch the Schmidt, Okeanos, and Nautilus Ocean Floor Survey live streams. An ocean rover manned by a team of biologists and technicians live stream their coverage of the bottom of the ocean, collecting specimens and seeing amazing things, often for hours. It's super soothing and yet extremely engaging, and the crew have a great rapport and are often full of silly marine puns. Often they run into some extremely beautiful and amazing sights, and garbage is actually quite rare, thankfully, and the campaigns last for about a week of daily 5-hour-long streams, every few months. It rules. Here's an example. I wonder how much funds needed for this kind of deep-sea expedition team. I work on a NSF-funded deep-sea oceanography research vessel, and I've been told it's around $50,000 day for the ship, crew, food and fuel. I believe rovos are an additional cost. I paid an extra $10K for ROF Global Explorer, which is much smaller with more limited capabilities than Jason or others. Plus loading, unloading and other fees. Water mostly. Who are you? So wise in the ways of science. Uranars 85. It says it right there. No way. Do that again. Weird ugly ass fish. I imagine the Simpsons movie where the squirrel has 1,000 eyes. Cities of academic fish pondering what they'll find on the 80% of land they haven't explored. They explored 20%. They decided they liked the taste of lion. We've talked to ourselves. We've communicated and said, you know what, lion tastes good, let's go get some more lion. We've developed a system to establish a beachhead and aggressively hunt you and your family, and we will corner your pride, your children, your offspring. We will construct a series of breathing apparatuses using kelp. Not enough for days at a time, but an hour? Or 45? No problem. That'll give us enough time to figure out where you live, go back to the sea, get more oxygen and then stalk you. Did that go the way you thought it was gonna go? Nope. You lose that battle. You lose that battle 9 times out of 10. I imagine there is some kind of absolutely huge lobster down there. Deep-sea gigantism is a thing. Giant isopods, squid, spider crabs, sea are all far larger than their relatives that live closer to the surface. There's also the fact that lobsters never stop growing until they die and do not suffer negative effects of aging. Basically, I just wanted to talk about lobsters for a minute. Did you know lobsters have at least 2 penises? Did you know lobsters attract mates by pissing out of their eyes? Lobsters are ducking cool as shit. Edit, damn, y'all, I didn't expect this post to blow up like this. Anyway, did you guys know that California spiny lobsters apparently taste better than Maine lobsters, but they aren't eaten in large numbers here, as the vast majority are exported to China? Did you guys know that California spiny lobsters scare away predators by using their huge antennae to make a loud noise that sounds like a train stopping? Has the squad heard that female California spiny lobsters have a small claw near one of their pussies for some reason? Did you guys know that 2 of the California spiny lobster's main predators are the lingcod? Did y'all know the lingcod isn't a ling, and it isn't a cod? And the cabezon, 2 of the only fish in the world that have blue meat? How about how langostino lobsters aren't lobsters at all but are actually more closely related to hermit crabs? I love information about lobsters, but I did learn recently that they do have a size limit. It's mostly due to becoming too big to move eat. Also, the larger they get the thicker the shell has to be to hold back the pressure, so they do have an upper limit. It's massive though. Edit, I have been informed that the shell does nothing to resist the pressure. It is still an issue, just not because of the shell. Also, lobsters need to shed their shells every so often. Sometimes they are eaten when they are doing this, but some older crabs and lobsters physically do not have the energy to molt and grow a new shell and die of exhaustion. Look up lobster molting if you think you can handle it. Now it makes it worse. Imagine seeing a big-ass lobster shell, knowing that it simply means there's a bigger one out there now. It helps to think that maybe that bigger lobster is also super embarrassed because has snaky. A lot of people killed by the mob. Sleeping with the weird, ugly-ass fish. 80% of what we have discovered down there are creatures straight out of a horror story, so it's likely we'll discover something even more horrifying. Detecting multiple Leviathan-class lifeforms in the region. Smile. Are you certain that whatever you're doing is worth it? Dope as Cyclops catastrophe. Synth music starts playing. What does this mean? It sounds like something I would like to hear. It's a reference to the game Subnautica. Extremely fun and beautiful, but not for anyone that's afraid of the ocean. So, it has synth music? It's on my wish list. I discovered this year that I enjoy crafting games. It's hands down the best survival game that I have played, ever. My only critiques are that 1. It could be longer. 2. It could be harder. That's what she said. The game averages between 30 and 40 hours to complete. That's pretty long for a story-based survival mode. I'm definitely with you though. Best survival game I've ever played. I have a lot more hours than that already, and have no idea what I'm really supposed to be doing. So I've just been puttering around, expanding my base, and collecting resources to upgrade stuff with. I've played longer too. I know what I'm meant to be doing, but I'm not good at doing it. Also, I enjoy just pottering about looking at fish. The nicest ones that don't roar at me. Sunken ships from all periods of the past. And treasure, and most importantly the rum. Sadly, the rum has gone. Hashtag why is the rum gone? Fishes had a great party. Probably just a bunch of bioluminescent creatures and small weird-looking creatures. Also trash and maybe pieces of unsolved mysteries that happened out at sea. I'd expect to find some kind of artifact or fossil as well that dates back millions of years. I want gigantic sea creatures to be real, cause tut'd just be coolest. But sadly our friend blue whale will have to do. I hope Atlantis is a thing. Maybe some mermaids. Let's make mermaids ourselves. We select a portion of the human population and force them to live out at sea. We start slowly, only into rare ankles in water. But not allowed out for generations. And we slowly move them further out to sea. The Bayou people is the closest human got to a mermaid. They can dive to 70 meters easily, and their lungs has evolved so they can stay at water for more than 5 minutes at it. It's spleen, not lungs. It's more than 5 minutes, and it actually has nothing to do with their lungs. They have massively oversized spleens which hold extra blood cells. So they can store a lot more oxygen in their blood than other humans. Their lungs are mostly unchanged. MH370. This is a great article with a very plausible theory on what may have happened. TheAtlantic.com edit, TLDR, pilot was assumed to be clinically depressed based on interviews with friends and family, planned possible suicide mission on flight simulator game, killed all passengers and remaining crew painlessly within minutes by depressurizing cabin, while he himself wore a specialized pilot's air pressure mask, before setting course over the Indian Ocean, flew for a few more hours until sunrise, then manually crashed the plane down into the ocean to die on impact, assuming he didn't want to accidentally survive a gradual descent landing. Edit 2, and also, Malaysia government is corrupt AF and wanted to hide all the information related to the flight to take spotlight away from them. Including providing false information so other countries wasted money searching the wrong ocean, before new information was leaked. Edit 3, also, some random modestly wealthy American is dedicating his life to finding flotsam from the flight in an effort to eventually find the crash site. I think it's the most plausible case because he did a bank turn directly over where he grew up after sunrise and then flew out into the ocean. Horrific thing to do. Rent a Cessna, asshole. I know. I would feel terrible for the guy if he'd taken the plane out on his own, but why on earth would you choose to take hundreds of innocent people with you? If this theory is true, then literally the last thing this guy did before he died was commit mass murder. Why would you actively choose for that to be the last thing you did before you died? Pilots are people too. Unfortunately, several pilots have committed suicide to try and gain notoriety, escape personal issues, etc. Some notable examples include Germanwings Flight 9525, 1999 Air Botswana incident, and the 2002 Tampa high-rise crash. As a pilot myself, I find it hard to comprehend. My job is to deliver my passengers and fellow crew members to the surface of the Earth safely, preferably at their intended destination. I understand that mental health issues can sometimes be very irrational, having had a very irrational mental illness myself, But I can't understand choosing to kill a load of other people alongside yourself. I understand that still happens, but it seems strange to me. I've struggled most of my life with mental health issues. I've thought about suicide before, but my fear always is the effect it will have on others. I could never take my life and take the lives of other people alone with me.